Yo, what's up, guys? We're back, and this one's a great card, man. I'm super excited for this one. UFC 285. We're going to be doing the full card breakdown and predictions like always, and I'm pumped. I'm pumped for this main event. I'm going to be going to the show. That's adding some excitement for me. Really excited to see John Jones back, and the card overall is pretty good. Even this first fight of the night is a solid fight. But just right before we get started, man, you guys have been doing a lot better with the likes lately. I really appreciate it. So let's do it again, man. Let's try to get 150 likes. We almost got there last time. I know we can get over that, over 150. So hit that like button right now if you're listening, and let's try to get over 150 likes. That would be incredible. And yeah, man, just know, if you're on this channel, you're new to the channel, or you're not really that active of a follower, you're getting some of the best information on the internet on this channel. I'm moving closer into the top 5 on Bet tips for units profit for all tipsters in MMA. And yeah, man, outside of that, if you go to the patreon.com/MMA Prediction Guru, I got a lot of bets for this card already. UFC 285, it's the most money risks I've had all year. We've won all but one UFC event this year, betting-wise, so I think we're 6 out of 7. Been doing really well this year, and we're going to keep doing well, man. I'm going to put in the time, and I know we're going to get the results. So definitely go over to patreon.com/MMA Prediction Guru, get all the bets for the card, and make some money, man. But let's get into this first fight of the night. Loik Radzhabov taking on Esteban Ribovics. And Loik Radzhabov and Esteban Ribovics are late additions, but great additions to the card. For Radzhabov, he's a former 2-time PFL playoff finalist. He never won, but he made it to the finals twice, and fun to watch. He's 16-4, and since 2017, he's been fighting some of the best competition outside of the UFC, so he's definitely prepped and ready for this opportunity. 31 years old, so he's in or near his physical prime. He has a great gym behind him in Killcliff FC. And his countryman, Nurullo Aliyev, was the first Tajikistan fighter to compete in the UFC and win last week. And now he's looking to follow in his footsteps and become the second here. And I'm sure that he's going to be eager to get out there and do business. It's been over a year since he's fought, so it's been a while for him. For Ribovics, he's undefeated. He's coming out of Argentina. His last fight was his Contender Series fight where he earned his UFC contract. And he's 11-0 with 11 finishes. So far, he might not have fought the best competition, but he's taken everybody out and he's looked dominant. And even without a decision win, he's shown cardio because he's gotten 3 third-round finishes. Originally, he was expecting to fight against Kamuela Kirk on this card, who's a different opponent, and in my opinion, an easier opponent than Loik Radzhabov. But now Radzhabov is coming in here and going to give Ribovics a true test. At this point, there are a lot of questions still regarding Ribovics' competition level, and this performance will answer some of those questions. So for Esteban Ribovics, he's a very intriguing fighter. On the feet, he's extremely fast, ultra dangerous early. He has 6 first-round finishes, 3 sub-1 minute knockouts. His last fight, he got another knockout, which came in 1 minute and 30 seconds. And he's very long, does a great job using elusive movement, footwork, lulls fighters into a false sense of security, and then he'll explode in with the power 2-3 combination. He throws real nice ground and pound, and he can close the distance really fast. So if he hurts you, drops you, and gets on top, he can end the fight really quickly, and that's what he's done several times. And he's really good at jabbing his way into range, and then you'll pick the right shots to land on the inside, tight hooks, nice uppercuts, you'll rip the body. And defensively, he does seem a little bit hittable, especially if you can back him up. But I haven't seen too many fighters that were that proficient pressure fighters that he was able to fight. His last fight against Thomas Paul, he did fight a pressure fighter, and he got hit a few times with some decent shots, but he showed one-punch power yet again, and this time was a slick counter off the back foot. So Ribovics is definitely a real deal striker, and he's a tricky grappler. His wrestling, offense, and defense seem a little questionable. I do think Radzhabov could take Ribovics down, but Ribovics does a great job using his length, his jiu-jitsu, to submit or create sweep scenarios, and I haven't seen Ribovics in there with the fighter with the top pressure and wrestling prowess of a Loik Radzhabov, so we're going to see if he can create those same sweep and scramble opportunities against this level of grappler. But I do think that he has good grappling, and I think he could probably get back up to his feet after he's taken down. Cardio-wise, Ribovics has good cardio, but I definitely think he slows down a little bit, and he doesn't have too much experience in longer fights. But his opponent, Loik Radzhabov, short, compact, powerhouse, big, muscular guy. He's explosive. On the feet, he pressures forward, hands down, uses a lot of head movement, feints, and then will throw a lot of big overhands to close the distance, shoot along the cage, switch stance guy. And he's a heavy hitter, so when he connects with the looping power shots, also he has a decent left hook. He is dangerous, and he throws some occasional kicks. He'll bring a lot of pressure and fight at a high pace. Great chin, very durable, and he's never been finished, and his career started in 2012, so that tells you something. He throws kicks in punching range at times, can get countered, can get clipped. He throws a lot of wide punches that leave him open to be countered, so this is going to be a huge test of his chin against a guy like Ribovics who's shown nasty power. And Radzhabov in this fight, I think, would be wise to embrace the grind. He's a good chain wrestler against the cage, very strong. On top, he doesn't have the best top control, which I think could be an issue for him against a good scrambler like Ribovics. But mixing it up is going to be his smartest thing to do. If he can get in the clinch against the fence, get a couple takedowns, even if he can't control, it could open up a striking, make Ribovics a little bit less active. And there's also potential Ribovics could gas and eventually start to get held down against a guy that has better wrestling than he's ever faced. For Radzhabov, his cardio isn't bad. He's fought in 5-round fights, and he pushes a really high pace. So I would say he probably has the superior cardio. And it's a tricky fight because I believe that Ribovics has the tools to defeat Radzhabov in terms of the striking and the jiu-jitsu and get-ups, but Radzhabov's experience, durability, power, and wrestling make him a live fighter here, in my opinion. I think on the feet it's going to be competitive, especially early, unless Ribovics can land another clean one-punch KO. Radzhabov will be fast himself and swinging big shots. Ribovics tends to get hit a little bit, and he's shown he could take that power. So I think he's going to be able to take some shots, but Radzhabov is the heaviest hitter he's probably ever faced. Ultimately, though, I think that Ribovics is the cleaner striker, can land the heavy counters right on the chin that could potentially put Radzhabov out. And Ribovics has to be ready to do it for 3 rounds because I said earlier, Radzhabov has never been finished, so obviously it's not something you can really bank on. As far as the wrestling goes, I think that Radzhabov has a pretty big advantage there, but I think that if he wins, it's going to be through a lot of cage grinding, maybe hitting some mat returns and controlling the back from like the wrestling ride position. But I don't really see him holding down and just laying on top in half guard or full guard on Ribovics, and Ribovics isn't able to stand up. I think that Ribovics will be able to get up from bottom, and I think he's going to be able to land the heavy shots, and I think he's going to have a chance to land a knockout. So I'm going to pick Ribovics by first round knockout as my official pick, but I think he could win by decision as well, and I think he's a pretty good underdog at the line that he's at. I think that's line is off. I mean, Loik hasn't fought in over a year, coming in on short notice here. Ribovics, he's a young kid that was getting ready for this UFC debut for a while, and he's very dangerous. He also has the ability to stand up from bottom, and he has knockout power. Loik Radzhabov lost to Alex Martinez in the PFL. He did come back and avenge that loss, but I feel like Alex Martinez is a lesser version of Ribovics, less dangerous, not as athletic or explosive. So I think if Alex Martinez could give Radzhabov trouble, which he did in the rematch as well, then Ribovics could potentially get the win too. So at the odds, I'm definitely intrigued, and I'm going to be picking Esteban Ribovics via first round knockout as my official